Hey everybody, welcome to Mammoth Interactive's YouTube channel. First of all, I want to thank you for watching this video. And remember that this channel doesn't do Patreon. Instead, we sell our digital courses down below. And every single dollar that we get from the products you buy below goes into making more content. The best way to help out this channel and Mammoth Interactive is to subscribe to Mammoth Interactive's huge library of content. Get thousands of hours and hundreds of courses for a low price down below. We have a monthly option and a yearly option. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the video.
Hello everyone, we're here in Photoshop, and as you can see, we're going to be making a new project called Classic Marlowe, or our Classic Marlowe game. Right here we have the new document. It's this new interface that I don't really exactly like, as you can see right here. It just feels a lot really cluttered. And we can go through all these sort of preset templates that it kind of gives us to use. As you can see right here, there's multiple types of templates right here to select from. You can select photo, print, art, illustration, web, mobile, and film and video sort of size templates right here. Or you can just type in and plug in your own right here. But I kind of like the old interface, so I'm just going to close this down. We're going to go into the preferences over here. We're going to go to general. Just going to turn on the use legacy new document interface right here. As you can see, it's under general again. Click on that, click OK, and if we were to go to new document right here, open new, it just takes away that whole cluttered, I guess it's not really a mess, it's sort of organized, but I just don't really like how it's all sort of cluttered kind of feel to it. And here you can just do more of a streamlined selection of your settings. As you can see right here, you can just type in whatever you want and save and set everything here. And that's pretty much it for getting our old sort of new document interface back. And yeah, we'll just go take a short break and come back and make a new document. Okay, we're here in Photoshop with the new document here. We're going to be creating a 50 by 50 pixel size document for our Marlowe game, our classic Marlowe game. I'm just going to go ahead and click on the document type. We're going to switch it from clipboard over into 50 by 50 pixel size. Now the reason why it's in here saved as a preset is because I've basically typed in 50 by 50 instead of pixels. We saved it as a preset, and it would show up as the document type or under document type right here. And everything else is fine. We can just leave it like so. I'm going to call this the classic Marlowe. Click OK, and it will just create a new canvas right here. Now with that done, we can just go in and zoom in, and we can also turn on the grids. So it's going to be making it easier for us to paint whatever we want in here. Just going to go to view, going to go to show, and we're going to click on grid to open it up. As you can see, the grids are the sort of maximum pixel sizes that we can zoom into. These are just single pixels of our 50 by 50 size canvas right here. And there are some additional settings that we should sort of tick off. I'm just going to go to preferences, general, and under, I believe it was transparency, units, and rulers. We can, as you know, guides and grids right here. We're going to set everything to 1 pixel, so everything in here we see is 1 to 1. And that's pretty much it. We can just leave it like so and click OK, and we have our blank canvas here for us to play around with and to create our size right here, or our Marlowe game. Anyways, with everything said and done, let's take a short break, come back to this later. As you can see, we're here with our new file again, and we're just going to go ahead and create some of our assets for our game. I'm going to start off by creating a new folder, and just going to rename this as the block folder. And I'm going to create a new layer so we don't draw on our background. I'm going to go use the square or rectangular marquee tool. We're going to start at the center here. I'm going to hold onto Alt and Shift so that we get a proper sort of equal amount of, well, size sort of cube right here. I'm gonna slightly shift it so it goes in the center. As you can see, the rulers down there. I move it over there. I'm gonna slightly fill in the shape right here. I'm just gonna click on Function, Shift F5, and fill the color black into our square here, as you can see. Next up, let's go ahead. We're gonna add in some brick-like shapes. I'm gonna just grab this section right here. About like this much. How high is this inside? It's 1.13 height. Divide that by 3. About like, I'll just go for like 30, so 0.3. Go 0.32. Go about like this long. And I'm gonna fill it in with a nice brown, light brown, sort of orangey brown type of brick color. Function Shift F5. Let's take this piece, copy and paste it. I'm gonna just slightly shift this over down here. Copy and paste it right here. Place it over here. And I am going to take these two. Actually, I'm going to take all these pieces right here. I'm going to merge them together. Right click, scroll down, merge layers. Take all these pieces. Command A selects the whole sort of area here. Copy and paste. I'm going to slightly drag this guy down a little. Let's move it down here. And I'm just going to delete this section right here. I'm going to make it so that it's only 3 layers. Actually, I shouldn't delete it. I'm going to undo that. Alt Command Z, and I'm going to hold on Command, so I cut this piece over here. I'm going to place it right beside here, copy, paste it. I'm going to move it to this side as well, and let's just go ahead, merge everything together, merge layers, and I'm going to just take these pieces right here, delete those, the edge right there, same with this piece right here. Gonna select everything, or just this section here. I'm going to grab these pieces, Command T, and we're just going to transform this guy out to the edges here. Click Enter for it to settle down, and as you can see, we have a sort of, I guess, a brick-like shape right here. However, we kind of have this, I guess, a 2 pixel gap right here. We're just going to slightly paint this section. I'm going to use the brush, and we're at a 1 single pixel size right here. We're using the pencil tool. Just going to paint this color in. I'll paint this right here, make it slightly off, paint the opposite sort of edge right here. We can even slightly shift these guys just a little bit more. I'm going to go into Marquee. I'm going to grab this section, slightly shift this down. I'm going to hold on Command, just cut this like about this much or so, about like this much. And I'm going to take the rest over here that's sort of, pushed out here. I'm just going to cut this, move this back to the back here, delete this edge right there as well, and there you go. We have sort of this, I guess, an illusion of it being 3 blocks over there. And we can just leave it like this right here. We have our block sort of shape. I'm going to slightly change up the color of this background right here. I'm going to use a dark brown instead, something like this. Let's use the Magic Select tool. I'm going to grab this section, Function Shift F5. We're going to fill that in. And now we have a sort of back dark brown sort of outline instead. And yeah, there you go. We have a pretty decent looking brick block. I'm gonna slightly shrink this as well. I'm just gonna select these 2 layers right here. Command T, scale these guys down. Hold on Alt Shift so it scales down together. Click Enter. I'm gonna delete this section right here. Let's go E. Delete, just cut out this section right here, and maybe a little bit more. I'm gonna grab this piece here, cut this, and it looks more like it's a block. Let's maybe cut this as well. I'm gonna slightly cut off this section, and maybe this section right here. No, that's a little bit too much. Let's go with something like this here, and there you go. We have our sort of brick wall, or our brick block, and that's pretty much it for this piece right here. Actually, let's maybe rename this now. I'm going to call this the brick block. Enter. And yeah, there you go. It's quite simple, fast, and straightforward. We have a single asset pretty much done. We can add in additional details later on, but for now, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Okay, now that we are done with our simple sort of single block right here, notice this tiny issue that we should kind of fix, which is the top blocks here, this little pattern. As you can see, if we were to take our image here and use it as an offset sort of image, this would sort of create just this tiny weird piece right here. So I think it'd be better if we slightly shifted this and added in a little bit more, I guess, flesh to this brick right here. I'm just gonna grab this top part, use the marquee tool, slightly shift this outwards a little bit. I'm gonna put it like, say, about here. And actually, no, if we put it over here, about it's something in the middle right here, about like this much. And I'm just gonna take this bit, cut it out, move it down to here, say about like this far or so, and maybe push this guy in here. Take this bit, Command T, just transform it. We can just stretch it over since it's a single color. Click enter, enter it in, and there you go. We have a sort of more offset friendly type of brick block right here. And that's just a tiny quick fix for our brick. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Okay, with our block done, let's go ahead and add something a little extra to it to make it as a sort of different type of asset block. I'm just gonna take our group here. We're gonna duplicate this. We're gonna duplicate the group. Let's rename this as brick block, or not brick block. I'm gonna switch it to coin block. Erase the copy here. Click enter. And we have a new duplicate right here, as you can see. I'm going to create a new layer in our new folder. I'm going to go to the marquee tool. I'm going to select the circle marquee tool right here. I'm going to draw a circle right here. Currently not exactly sitting in the center. Just going to have a slight circle right here. Slightly move this down to the center here. I'm going to select the nice coin yellowish, sort of bright yellow color right here. Let's go with this function, shift F5, and fill that in. We should get a circular sort of shape right here, as you can see. And I am going to add in a additional sort of stroke on the outside here to make it look a little bit more cut off from the block here. Let's go edit. I'm going to add in a stroke. Add one single pixel. I'm going to change up the color slightly. Let's go for it. I'm going to use the eyedropper again. Just click on the color, go back to it. I'm going to select a kind of darker, more orangey sort of color, slightly orangey, something like this. Click OK, enter, and you'll see that it sort of draws out this nice outline around it. If you feel like the circle is a little bit too big, we can slightly shape it down. Command T, transform it. I'm going to hold on to Alt and Shift so it just goes down a single size. Click enter, and there you go. We have our circular sort of coin right here, and I am actually going to go ahead and add in a simple question mark over here. Just going to draw out the center right here. Let's see, the size of our text is huge right now. It's at 72, but because our canvas size here is only 50 by 50 pixels, you can't really see it. So as you can see right here, size 6 print right here is at like this huge sort of size right here. Let's just type in the question mark. I'm going to use the color black or something like this. You can change up the colors later. Let's see, select this, switch it to black, click OK, and as you can see, it is tiny right here. Now I can just adjust this, just a slight sort of, well, I guess size adjustment right here, and see how it looks. 14 size, let's deselect. Still kind of blurry. You can like go up to 30. That's a little bit too big. Let's go like 24. Yeah, I'll just leave it at 24. And let's just deselect this. I am going to slightly change the size of this. Command T, transform it just slightly. You can push it down a little into the center, about the center. Click enter. And I am going to retasterize this so I can, paint this a little bit more, make it more clear instead of this blur sort of blob right here. Let's go into the brush, click B, I'm going to select the color here. Let's draw out this, make it a larger sort of question mark. I'm just going to paint these over here and here. Actually, yeah, just make it like this. Now that seems a little bit too much. I'll erase these parts here. Let's erase this bit right here. Paint maybe this side right here. Make this a little bit more clear, because right now it's just still kind of more blurred on the blurred side of things. It seems better. Erase maybe the center over here or something. That seems a lot more like a question mark. Should kind of erase a little bit too much here. Check it out from far away. Still a little bit weird looking question mark. Undo that. I'm gonna paint this top here. And nah, I'll just leave it like so. Erase this a little bit. Check it out. Yeah, it looks like a hook now over here, the question mark. You can maybe change up the colors if you don't like the black. I'm gonna slightly shift this down a little to the center. We can change the hue and saturation. Just add on to this bit right here. I'm gonna connect it to just the question mark. Change up the saturations. Actually, no, the lightness. Change up the color a little. Actually, no, that's not gonna work because this color right now is currently set to black, and it won't really do much to it. So, you know what? I'm gonna actually use a separate color. I'm gonna delete this layer right here. I'm gonna use a sort of color that's similar to the yellow right here, but just slightly darker. Darker color, and just select these. Use the magic select tool, grab onto those pieces, function shift F5, enter. Let's see, I'm gonna erase just a tiny little bit here because there's like this added sort of pixel right here before the more blurred side of things. I feel like this is still slightly a little bit too bright. Let's add on to this bit right here. And let's go like this. Darken it a little. Just make it a little bit more saturated. Yeah, seems pretty good. There you go. It's not purely black. Yeah, there you go. We have a pretty decent looking coin block that we can use for our game. If we want to, we can add in additional details for now. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Okay, we're back again with our assets right here. We've basically kind of finished off our block here. I'm just going to go ahead and hide this asset, and we're going to create a new folder. I'm going to call this the... Oh, just leave that over there. I'll call this group the pipe asset. Enter, and I'm going to create a new layer for it. And since we're going to be making a pipe, let's go over to the marquee tool. I'm going to switch this from the circular marquee tool to the rectangular marquee tool. Let's go ahead and grab a portion over here. I'm going to hold down Alt and Shift to create a perfect square. That's about large enough. I'm going to drop this down, and let's select a nice green color, something like this. A mid shade between yellow and blue sort of green, or just pure green. Function Shift F5, you fill that in. We get a nice green right here. We can slightly increase the size here. I'm gonna duplicate this actually. Let's duplicate this layer so we get the extra piece where we can create a lip for our pipe. I'm gonna just transform this, Command T, slightly shrink this down. I'm gonna hold on to Alt so it does a sort of mirror movement over here. Slightly increase this top right here as well, just a tiny little bit, doesn't have to be too much. Leave it like that. And this bottom portion, actually I'm gonna click enter first to select that and let it place down. Grab this piece, Command T, increase this up by a bit, about like that much. Click enter, and we have the basic shape of our pipe right here. Next up, I'm going to select this layer now. I'm going to go into edit. I'm going to add in a stroke. add in stroke right here. I'm gonna slightly darken this green down to like pretty dark, well, decent dark green color. Click OK. Use the stroke, and we have a nice outline for our pipe here. I'm gonna do the same thing for the bottom piece right here. Let's just add in stroke. We have the color selected, click OK, and we have a decent, simple looking pipe shape right here. I'm gonna slightly shrink these guys down. I feel like it's a little bit too big. We can maybe make it longer or so. Command T, since I select both layers, it's gonna grab everything here. I'm gonna hold on Alt, slightly shrink these guys down. Maybe down a little bit here as well. About like that much. Click Enter. Actually, I'd rather have my line still there. Command T. Shrink this down. About like that much. Seems pretty good. Click Enter. Now this part right here, I'm just going to grab this section and Command T. Oh, wait. I'm just going to select the bottom pipe here. Command T. Drag this down, stretch it out, and we get a nice simple looking pipe right here for our game. Now again, if you feel like this is a little bit too small now, we can just go back to it and just increase the size again. It's quite simple and straightforward as well. Yeah, for now we have our simple pipe. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Okay, now with our simple pipe here, let's maybe add some additional details onto it to make it look a little bit less flat. You could actually just leave it as this sort of simple two rectangular shaped object right here, and it could seem okay, but I think it'd be better if we did add something additional to it. I'm just going to take our piece here, we're going to duplicate this layer right here. I'm going to go Command T, slightly shrink this over to the side. And about like this much or so. Can't really tell if you can see. Anyways, I'm just going to shrink it to about like this far. And let's go in and click Enter. I am going to take this bit right here. I'm going to turn this off right here. Let's grab these pieces. All these pieces. And actually not these pieces. Let's delete these top two lines right here. I am going to just paint this color right here. Let's see, I'm going to use the brush, hold on to Alt, select the color right here. We have this current green color. I'm going to slightly darken it down a little bit, like so. And I'm just going to go ahead and paint this. Let's grab this piece right here, Function Shift F5, fill that in. Check it out. Let's open up the previous sort of pipe layer over here. If you feel like this bit is a little bit too dark, we can slightly raise it up. It'd be easier if we slightly change or use the adjustments instead of painting or sort of eyeballing the color right here. Let's go over to hue and saturation and turn that on. Let's just connect this to the layer down below. Lightness, I'm just going to switch it around. Let's check about this much, change around over here. I think this slightly dark color, it's kind of bright, not really that dark. This color seems okay. I'm going to take this and let's just merge these guys together. Merge the two layers so it's set in stone. Let's duplicate this piece again. Duplicate layer. I'm going to move this down. Just hold on Command, drag it down slightly. I'm going to go Command T, just stretch this piece out. Since it's a flat color, nothing else will be stretched. And there you go. We have sort of this pipe sort of shadow on it, kind of giving it a nicer looking sort of a detail to it. I'm going to maybe slightly shrink this guy down a little. Maybe you can go like one sort of grid over. Let's go over here. I'm going to go grab this, Command A, select everything, copy and paste this. I'm going to drag this down here. Command T, I'm going to shrink this down, hold Alt, and drag this over. Something like about like this much or so. I'll go with like, maybe just grab one over instead of holding Alt now. Click there, there you go. We have sort of this slight detailed curve right there. Take this bit again, that should take this piece, Command A, select everything, copy, Command C, Command V, and paste, Command T, get transform option, and just gonna slightly drag this over, say about like this here, this area here, just one grid over above this, so it has this slight separation from the bottom, and click enter. And it seems pretty good. And there you go, we have a slightly more detailed looking pipe. It just adds on a certain texture to it with the colors here. And yeah, that's pretty much it with our pipe. In fact, if you want to, you can maybe adjust it a little bit more, make it look nicer, maybe have a well, similar sort of green to it. You can just test around, basically. And yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Okay, we're back again. And let's go ahead and make some background pieces for our game. Start off by making a simple cloud. I'm just gonna go ahead and turn off our pipe asset right here. Just turn that off. Gonna open up the group 2 folder I've made before. Let's see if there is a layer over here. There's a empty layer right here that we can use. I'm just gonna go ahead and select our brush or pencil right here, and we can just free draw some random cloud shapes for our background clouds. Before that, let's make sure to select a simple or proper sort of color for our cloud. Usually sort of darkish or bright gray. We can change that in the future or later down the line. For now, just use something like this to sort of a mid-gray tone to make it easier for us to visualize. Just gonna draw a sort of cloud-like structure. Just paint this, make it fluffy cloud. And right here we have sort of this fluffed up type of feel to it right here, as you can see. And I'm actually gonna go ahead and use the paint bucket tool, use a sort of brighter gray right here, paint this in, and it sort of seeps through the outside sort of layer here. I'm just gonna undo the outline or the fill so it doesn't seep through this. I'm gonna actually select the center here, use the magic select tool, then use the paint bucket and just paint that over. And with that, we have sort of this basic cloud right here that we can use. It should be easier if I sort of paste it or use the paint bucket to fill in a separate layer right here. I'm just gonna undo all those steps I've made. I'm gonna continue on with our outline here. I'm gonna create a new layer, then fill in the area here. So whenever we want to sort of switch up the colors here, we can change it around right now. Anyways, this just makes it easier if you work in different layers. Let's go ahead and go into a new layer. I'm going to use a sort of brighter, you can use like a bluish sort of color on our clouds right here, bluish gray. I'm going to just paint this in, try it out, check it out. I can paint this over here. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and fill this section up. I'm going to use the magic select tool, select the section again, and I'm going to go function shift F5 and just fill the section up right here. I'm going to slightly decrease the size of this. I'm going to use filters option. I'm going to use maximize. So we go by, I guess, 2 pixel radius. Maybe 1 is enough. Actually, no, I'll use like 2 or yeah, 2. Hello, 2. Just type it in 2. Click OK. And let's maybe blur this a little. I'm going to go filter, blur, Gaussian blur, and just do a slight blur on it. Something like this, 1.1 seems okay. And there you go. We have a simple cloud sort of dustiness in the center right here. I kind of feel like we should maybe make this outline a little brighter or so. But right now, actually, it has a good contrast to it. This brightness blurred to the edges right here. If I turn this off, what would it look like? It doesn't look that as good. So I guess having it like this actually makes it look pretty nice. It's just a pretty fast way of making like a simple cloud. Yeah, that's pretty much it. We can use this cloud as our game asset for our background. If you do want to change it, like make little detailed changes, by all means, you can go ahead and do that. But for now, we have a simple cloud that we can use. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Now for our background sky, we can just use a fairly simple method. Let's just use a gradients, and we can basically create a fast and easy type of background. Actually, before that, let's maybe rename this. I'm going to call this the clouds. And let's close that down, create a new asset group or a new folder right here, create a new layer. I'm going to go ahead and switch from paint bucket, right click, go to gradient tool. Just going to draw a line. Let's go like downwards instead. And as you can see, we get a starry sort of blue sky right here, and with a sort of mixed in white background. And we can just, have our clouds floating in this section right here and look pretty good. And yeah, it's pretty straightforward. You don't have to worry too much. Let me drop this down, this group below the cloud, so you can see it a little bit better. Just push this down below it, and we can have our background slightly, scaled up a little bit when you bring it over into Unity. So it's easier for you to, match the clouds. And actually looking at our clouds right here, I feel like it's a little bit too dark. Let's change this name right here. Sky background sky. Let's go ahead and slightly just adjust the colors here. Let's go ahead and use the, let's use hue and saturation right here. I'm going to use these two. I'm going to grab it to this piece. Slightly change up the brightness of this just a tiny little bit, and I'm going to do the same thing for this as well. Let's hue saturation, go downwards for this, slightly make it brighter, well, just a slight smidgen so that you can still see the outer sort of outline of the cloud. I can go brighter if you want, something like this. It's just a type of, I guess it kind of makes it a little bit blurred. It's not really blurred, it's more like it combines with the colors together to kind of give off this, blurry kind of effect of our cloud there. And if you feel like this is still a little bit too gray, we can just up the brightness of this. You can change the saturation as well, change up the color a little bit too. But I'll just keep it to a light gray, something like this, where you can still see the exterior sort of outline right there. Just a tiny little bit back, make it a little brighter, well, mid-gray type of tone right there. And yeah, there you go. We have the clouds sort of matching with the background. Don't worry about it looking strange right here. You're gonna, again, you can scale the background up and just paste up the clouds somewhere up above over here or so. And yeah, that's pretty much it. It's just a fast way of making our sky background. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Okay, now that we've gotten our sky and cloud completed, let's go ahead and maybe add in some additional background pieces, maybe like mountains or trees or bushes, whatever that you feel like is simple. I'm just gonna go ahead and maybe create a new layer here now. Let's call this the background trees. I'll make a tree from this area. Let's go ahead and turn these two off, the background sky and the clouds. Next up, I'm just gonna go and create a new layer under our new group right here. And I'm gonna go ahead and start off by sort of painting out a tree trunk for a tree. I'm gonna use the paintbrush here. As you know, I'm gonna use the rectangular tool, marquee tool. Let's draw out, hold on to Alt Shift so you get a simple sort of square right here. Function Shift F5. I am going to use a lighter brown, use pencil, slightly draw out some different, different shades of our tree trunk right here. Something like this. I'm going to go erase this, cut this area, make it look a little bit more tree trunk-like. Kind of cut that a little bit too much. I'm going to go back to the brush, select the dark brown, maybe paint this a little bit better, make it look more, I'm going to undo that, make them look more wood-like. It seems okay like that. Maybe paint the bottom, make this base stronger. And I am going to create a new layer. And I'm going to use this as our leafy layer right here. I'm going to use a nice dark green. Let's go ahead and just draw out a shape right here of our a rectangular sort of marquee draw right here. I'm going to go Function Shift F5, fill that in. We have a simple, a fairly simple looking tree top right here with all the leaves. We can use the marquee or lasso tool and just shape out areas that we want to cut. You can just draw these certain areas out. I'm just gonna grab from the bottom, maybe cut a triangle like shape over here. Let's grab this section. I'm gonna select this area, just delete that. Maybe grab this here as well. Loop it over, delete all those. And there we go. We have a fairly simple looking tree. I'm actually going to slightly delete this bottom part here because it's just way too straight. Let's delete that section and go Command T. Command T. Oh, okay. Yeah, there you go. I'm going to slightly scale this guy up. I'm going to hold on to Alt. So it's going to scale on the mirror image right there, or mirror side. Seems okay. This looks more centered. And click Enter. If you feel like the bottom's a little bit too flat, we can use the smudge tool slightly. I gotta switch down the strength of this to like 20, maybe. No, I'll use 30 instead. 30 strength for it, and just gonna slightly blur the bottom right here, so it kind of matches the side sort of edges right here, as you can see right there. It gives it the more blurry look to it. Just keep sort of drawing it out. As you can see right here, it is no longer super flat. It's actually kind of looking like the edges over here. You can maybe fix some parts up a little. It depends on how you want your tree to look. But yeah, there we go. We have a fairly simple looking tree. I'm going to slightly decrease that section right here. Push this up. Check it out. Yeah, a simple tree for our game. Let's maybe move this up a little bit. I want to see the trunk a little bit more. Let's push this down here. Just keep moving it, adjust things. And there you go. We have a fairly simple looking tree. We can add in additional details if you want, maybe different colors. But for now, pretty much done. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Okay, we've got our trees, we got our clouds, our sky. Let's add in some additional backgrounds, such as a sort of background mountain. Let's just go ahead. Let me close off this background tree layer here. I'm going to just turn that off. Create a new group right here. Let's call it the background mountains. And we can just make like some simple mountains. Doesn't have to be like that large. Can be like tiny little mountains over there. Gonna create a new layer for it, and just gonna go ahead and paint these out. Let's use the pencil tool. Use the black color for now, and let's just draw in some triangles, some simple triangles. Or actually, we can use the polygonal lasso tool right here and just draw these. And click on to go like this far and just make some uneven looking triangles. Doesn't have to be perfect. Just gonna place them like over here, and let's paste them in, connect them together. Oh, undo that. Gonna click Enter, undo, and we have our selection again, as you can see right here. I'm gonna go ahead and use Function Shift F5 to fill in the sections here. And as you can see, we have a kind of simple looking mountain range that we can just plop down in our game anywhere. I'm actually going to use the eraser tool, maybe carve up this one a little. I don't want it to be perfectly straight up over there, as you can see. I'm going to kind of fix up some areas here, make it look a little bit more jagged compared to a perfect triangle. Just keep erasing some parts, just cut them up. And actually, you know what? I think this mountain looks okay if I just cut that a little, fix up this section. And there you go. We have a decent looking mountain range right here. I'm going to go ahead and duplicate this layer right here. Duplicate layer. And we are going to add in a different color for this right here. I am going to go back to selecting everything here in general. Gonna click down on a decent looking color. Let's go for a nice background sort of mountain range. We can use like a deep green type of color for this. I'm gonna go function Shift F5, fill that in. Also going to slightly change up the stroke here. Let's grab this part. I'm gonna maybe cut it in sidewards. Actually, no, I'm not going to use a stroke right here. I'm going to use the filter for this. I'm going to use the maximize filter. So I can kind of drop it down by like 1 pixel. Or we can use 2 pixels. It doesn't look that bad. Actually, I'll use 1 instead. Click enter. Check it out. As you can see right here, we have sort of this outline for our mountain. We can draw a little bit better. Maybe make kind of layers of this instead. So I'm just going to use the eraser tool right here, sort of cut in certain areas here to kind of give it this layer mountain kind of feel to it. Just keep cutting certain areas here. Have like this, make it look like this is in front of this, and this mountain's over here in front of this. And we have sort of this decent looking cut up mountain right here. Gonna just add some ridges onto some certain areas here. Maybe just draw in some lines, just simple sort of lines right here. Just gonna cut them in more, and there you go. Some simple background, background looking mountains. I'm gonna kind of fill this part up a little, just a tiny bit, and I'm gonna slightly make the outlines a little bit transparent. Let's go make a little gray right there. Or you know what? I think it'd be better if I were to just play around with the you can either use levels, curves, whatever types over here, or you can use hue and saturation as well. I'm gonna use that on the black layer right here. Slightly change up the color of this, because changing the opacity just makes it actually kind of slightly transparent. If you were to send this, if you were to export this image as a PNG, it would kind of calculate in the transparencies if we were to take off the background as well. And right here we can just keep changing it up. So I'm gonna use it a little slight grayish color now. Let's check out the color here. You can change up the green as well if you don't like the super dark green kind of meshed with the gray. You can also adjust that. I'm just going to throw in hue and saturation as well. Connect it onto our layer right here. And let's just change it up, make it a little lighter, make it a little darker. Change the saturation as well. I'm going to make it slightly a little bit more gray compared to the outline over there. I want the greens to still be there, but I don't want it to be too grayed out. Well, something like this in between we have like this. Yeah, there you go. We have a decent looking mountain. We can maybe edit it a little bit, a little bit more if you want. But for now, it is a fairly decent looking background piece that we can just throw in here and there. And yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Okay, let's continue on with making some additional assets for our game. Now that we've gotten our sky, clouds, trees, and mountain background pieces, we can go on to sort of creating other additional environment assets, such as the sort of end scene area where there might be a castle. We could maybe just build like a tiny house, and I'm gonna add in the flag, sort of the touchdown flag for our game as well. So I'm just gonna go ahead and hide the mountains. Let's create a new group here. Let's go with the flag first. It should be quite simple. Let's just go in. I'm gonna call this the flag, end flag, or checkpoint flag would work. Checkpoint flag. And I'm just going to create a new layer. With this, let's go in and let's just use the marquee tool right here. We're going to use the rectangular marquee tool. I'm going to just draw out a simple sort of, I guess we can hold on to Alt and Shift and just drag out a, I guess 2x2 sort of square right here. And I am actually just going to go maybe draw out this center instead. Let's grab this much area here. Gonna go and select a nice yellow orange, a golden sort of color, more orangey type of color. I'm gonna fill this in. Function Shift F5, fill that in, and we have sort of our center pole for our flag. I'm just gonna go ahead and let's use a circular sort of marquee tool. I'm just gonna draw out the top here. I'm going to make it a little rounder up top. Maybe that big. Maybe I shrink it down a little. Maybe let's just go for a tiny bit larger. Oop, not that big. Let's go like something like this big. Function Shift F5, fill that in. We get sort of this end top right here. And I'm going to create a new layer here. Let's go with a green flag sort of color right here. Go with a nice bright radioactive green, and I'll just use the pencil tool. Let's just click on one section right here, or one pixel. I'm gonna hold on to Shift and then click down. It'll draw a line, straight line to the point right here. I'm gonna do the same thing. Let's go click on this point right here, hold Shift, click, and you'll go from here directly to here. And just going to click back up top, and we have a sort of enclosed area now. And we can just go ahead, click on this section, function, Shift F5, fill that in. Our flag is complete, and yeah, there we go. We have a simple flag that we can use for our asset. We can decorate it, maybe make it some additional sort of patterns onto it. We're going to change up the outlines of the flag here. You know what? We could actually do that. We could add in a additional sort of black outline on our flag if you want. I'm going to go to the color here. Actually, let's go back to brush. Hold into Alt. I'm going to select this green. I can darken it down. I'm going to add in a stroke. Let's add in the stroke right here. Add 1 pixel. And we're going to locate it in the outside around the shape that we've made right here. Click OK, and you'll get a nice sort of outline of the green right here. I'm going to do the same thing for our pole. I'm going to just hold an Alt, select the color here. You can drop this down to a darker color. And all we have to do is just simply add in stroke. Outside, same thing again, click OK, and there you go. We have a better looking sort of outlined type of pole right here. You know what, that actually looks a little bit too sort of brownish. I'm going to slightly raise it up a little. Just select the color again. Let's use a darker, just a slight darker type of color for it. And I'm going to select the outer section here, delete it. Grab here, just deselect. Edit, stroke, add in the color. That seems a lot better. It's a lot brighter than the other one. The other one was just way too dark. But yeah, there you go. We have a simple flag that we can use. We can later on maybe export these pieces separately if we want them to be sort of animated, whereas our flag piece actually goes down if you want. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this piece right here. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Okay, since we're working on the sort of end checkpoint areas, let's go ahead and make the sort of end house or the end castle. Let's just close down or hide our checkpoint flag for now. I'm just going to close that down, create a new folder, new layer for it. And before that, let's maybe change up the name of our folder first. We can either make a house or a castle, or actually, you know what? Right now, let's just make a house for now. It's easy, fast, and simple. Let's go end house. If you do want to make a castle, we'll make that later as well. Let's go ahead and just select a sort of, I guess, a nice brick-like color. I'll use a reddish orange type of color for the base. I'm gonna hold on to Alt and Shift with the rectangular marquee tool. Let's get a nice centered sort of base here. So let me move this down. I'm gonna just go ahead, click on our layer so we can fill this in here. Function Shift F5, fill that section up. Command T if you want to stretch up the base. I'm just going to hold onto Alt and grab onto the side here. Let's make it so that it's even right here. There you go. We have a simple sort of rectangular base bottom for the house. I'm just going to click Enter so it applies the transform here, and we can add in some other layers into our house here. Let's go for a nice light blue sort of window section right here. Just gonna hold on Alt and Shift, draw it out, not too large, something like this, and Function Shift F5, fill that in. We can maybe slightly angle our house a little if you want, or you can just have it a flat sort of house right here. I'm gonna grab this, Command T, slightly stretch this guy up a little, Enter, and I'm just gonna hold on to Alt. Actually, no, I'm gonna duplicate this piece right here. Let's duplicate this, and I am just gonna hold the Command, move this down. Maybe a little bit more here. Should move this piece as well, so we get a space where it can make maybe a door or something. I'm going to take these two. I'm going to merge them together, so I can actually just delete, say, 4 sections off this, or 4 pixel wide areas here. Delete that, and I am going to create a nice simple door. Let's use a sort of brown color, deep oak sort of color. Create a new layer, just draw out a section in the center. Let's draw a door here. Function Shift F5, we get a simple door, and if you want, you can add in some additional details, like maybe a tiny doorknob. I'll use like a nice bright yellow. Let's go into brush, just gonna paint in a sort of doorknob right here, and maybe erase this top. I don't feel like this door is it's a little bit too big, a little bit too tall. Maybe raise it down, push it down like here, and so forth. We can add in some gardens, maybe some greens over here. We're gonna add in a sort of layer here. Let's go into greens. Actually, a layer some bricks down, some nice reds. Let's go into brush, paint the floor, this bottom right here. It's kind of hard to see through because of the color similarities between the orange and the red here, but we can just layer it in with some greens over here. I'm just going to paint this section in, maybe just point it through. You can leave like so. Seems okay. We can add in a roof now. Add another layer. Let's go with a nice simple sort of I guess I feel like the base color itself should be the tile color, so I'm gonna slightly change this up a little. I'm gonna grab this section, or actually I'll use a brush, grab this piece, go up to the top over here. I'm just gonna go click and angle this, and I'm just gonna paint this section to the center here. Grab this piece, piece it together. I'm gonna actually take this piece here, Command A, select everything, copy and paste. I'm just gonna go transform this, Command T, and just flip it over. Let's grab this piece right here. Seems about right. Move this out. But you know what? I think it'd be easier if I were to just duplicate it and just flip it with the sort of, where are you? The transform, and just, flip horizontal right here. I could have just done that, but sometimes you want to make things a little bit harder on yourself. You can do that too. I'm just gonna take these two pieces, the two layers right here, and just merge them together. And let's use the sections here. I'm gonna grab the empty areas, Function Shift F5, fill those in, and there you go. For the bottom base color, I'm just going to grab this whole section here. We can use the hue and saturation to sort of change things around if we want, or we can, just manually select a better sort of lighter color if we want and paste that in. You know what? I guess I could just use the hue and saturation right here. Grab this, connect it down below to our this layer right here. I'm gonna brighten this up a little. Let's go for a nice pink sort of color. Seems like a decent sort of color for our base right here. I'm gonna merge these two layers together. Just merge the adjustment layer so it's set. And I am going to go into brush, select this color right here, add in another layer so I can get sort of this ledge right here for our windows. Just add on a additional detail for it. Our roof, after looking at it, I feel like we could maybe darken it down a little. So I'm just going to go into the adjustment layer, add in the hue and saturation layer there. Click on down to the roof tile right here. Slightly change up the color here, maybe make it darker. We can make it a little more saturated. But yeah, there you go. We have a simple end house sort of a piece that we can use for our end checkpoint area. We can also slightly just turn off the background just in case and check things out. It seems okay if you look at it just like this. We can add maybe additional details to it later if you want. For now, thanks for watching. Let's take a short break and come back to this later. Okay, we're back again with our end house for our game. We're going to continue on with adding additional details onto the house to make it look nicer. First off, we can probably start off with the sort of base area here. We can add in some sort of just tiny little brick, brick pieces in these areas here. I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to go on top of this layer right here, so keep it more sort of organized. And you create a new layer here, and I'm going to select a color that's similar to this color right here. I'm going to use brush, hold on to Alt, select this color right here. You can just probably paint around like a few little, brick designs here and there. You can probably make it a little bit whiter as well. Let's go with this. Yeah, seems like the house has been injured or something. You know what? Maybe I should separate this. I'm going to go to Marquee, grab this tiny little bit right here. Hold on to Command, cut this apart, move it like so. Seems okay. I'm going to grab these pieces, maybe move this a little bit up. Use the brush again, paint this section here, and maybe connect that to make it look like it's an actual brick that's kind of slightly sticking out. And just gonna paint a few more areas, add in just, I guess, more bricks into the design here. And I am just gonna paint this section here. It's a little bit too similar, so I guess I'll just undo that. I'll take I'm gonna take this bit right here. I'm gonna hold on to let's do Command C, Command V. I'm just gonna paste it over, say about like here, a little bit up over there, so it's kind of slightly different. Can add in some additional pieces here. I'll go like another one right here, piece right here. I don't want to overkill it by adding too many of them. Just like add like one or two over here. I'll go like two pieces right here. I guess this just doesn't look that good. I'm gonna take this, just slightly move it down closer to the bottom, and there you go. Now these pieces, I'm probably just gonna link them together. I'm just gonna go select these two together, right click, merge layers, so that we get sort of the brick pieces only, as you can see right here. Next up, we can, I guess we can add in some flowers or something, but that would kind of cover over the brick designs here. Well, we could do that. Might add on some additional details onto it. This is the sort of the window layer here. Let's go down to this section. This is the plant garden. we can create a new layer or just paint it right over here. I guess I'll paint it right over here. Gonna brush, select this bit right here. Let's go with dark cursor green, and we can just make some stems here and there. Maybe 1, 2, 3, and just paint a few right here. I'm gonna use like a few bright colors, pink, yellow. Let's go like pink or something. Pink, red. Oh, don't color the stem. Let's go like green, bright green. Actually, that doesn't seem right. I think you should use yellow. As is a yellow center area here. It's just some basic colors. Grab that kind of mixture of them all, and there you go. We can take this little pixelated garden. We can just duplicate this guy and move him aside to the side right here. That should duplicate the whole thing. So, you know what? Let's flip this bit right here. Let's go and edit, transform, flip horizontal, and there you go. We have the sort of mirrored image of that bit right there. If you don't like the mirror, we can maybe just Command T and just flip it over again. You can transform, flip horizontal right there. And maybe mix and match colors up. I'm going to click Enter. And just zoom in a little. I'm going to go erase. I don't want this little pattern right here. I'm going to use brush, select the purple. I'm going to use this purple color right here. And maybe use the green. And just paint this section. Ho 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 ho. And maybe create this part over here. Use the red over here and erase. And there you go, slightly different looking garden right there. And there you go, we have a pretty nice looking house. I feel like everything on this house is a little bit too orangey or red. I feel like maybe changing the roof over here to, say, we can use like a blue or something. Let's change the hue. I'm just gonna switch it to a nice bluish color, like darker right here. Darker blue. Yeah, it seems pretty good. Nice blue roof. And there you go. We have a pretty decent looking roof. You can add in some additional sort of patterns on here. I'm gonna use the brush here. Select this color. Let's darken it down just a slight bit. I'm gonna draw a few lines onto this. So, I'm just gonna paint one dot, click another right here, and just draw a straight line. The same thing for this section, this one right here, and so on. Just keep drawing up, creating a nice detailed, well, not really detailed, just a slight pattern on here. It makes it look nice. There you go. I'm gonna grab these two guys together. These two layers. I'm going to set the hue saturation on our roof color, original sort of orange color right there. Right click. I'm just going to scroll down to merge layers, and there you go. We have our roof. This top section, though, I kind of feel like I want to make it a little larger. I'm just going to grab, use a marquee tool, grab this section, grab this out, maybe make it a little larger. Let's function Shift F5, fill that section in. And I think we should maybe use this color right here. I'm going to use a darker color. Click on that, stretch it over, grab this piece, stretch it over. And there you go. You don't exactly have to use that sort of weird roofing tile that I've used. You can just leave it as is. There you go. We have a pretty nice looking house. Can even add in a nice chimney to it. I'm gonna just grab this the layer right here. I'm just gonna rename this instead of hue saturation. Let's call this the house base. We should actually have like a more of a better sort of a habit of renaming everything, but I'm just going through everything quite fast, so I don't have to do all the renaming. Just gonna merge these two right here. So merge the garden pieces. There you go. Yeah, there you go. We have our house. Let's go back to the empty layer I just created. I am going to put this behind the house base right here. We're going to use this color and just draw a sort of chimney like structure over here. I'm just going to grab this section, make it look a little bit tall over there. Function Shift F5, fill that in, and there you go. We can maybe darken this down, hue and saturation. Let's push this down onto just that one singular layer. Let's move this, make it a little darker. Maybe make it redder as well. Can make it a little bit more brick-like colored right there. And yeah, there you go. Fairly fast, simple, decent looking house right here. I kind of feel like we should maybe add in an additional sort of outline on this base section here. I'm just going to go ahead and use Edit, add Stroke, and let's see, use a darker color. Let's grab this, slightly darken it down, click OK, OK. And there you go, we have a nice looking outline right there. Just adds on to the house details and makes it look slightly better without it over there. Let's go here. After looking at it, I just kind of feel like we should maybe add in an additional brick right here, make it look a little more even over here. But yeah, there you go. Windows, maybe you could also add an outline right here. I'm going to go and select the color here, sample that, use Alt. I'm going to use the Edit, Stroke. I'm going to add in an additional sort of outline on our window here as well. Let's go with inside instead of outside, so it doesn't push outwards. Click on that. Oh, forgot I switched the color to a different color right there. Nothing happened. So let's grab the color, slightly darken it down a little bit. Click OK and check it out. There you go. Slightly, a little bit too close, I guess. I'm going to redo that section again. Edit, Stroke, change the color. Let's make it slightly a little bit darker now. A little bit darker. There you go. Click OK. And yeah, there you go. We have a nice looking house that is a decent looking sort of house for our end sort of checkpoint area. I'm going to also add a layer of outline to the chimney as well. Let's do that. Grab this piece, Edit, Stroke, grab the color here. Let's grab this right here, darken it down a little, add it in. There you go. Actually, that's a little too dark. Let's grab this, slightly darken it. Okay. Oh, the reason why it's doing that is because of the hue and saturation. It's kind of adding on to it the additional sort of stroke. So I'm just going to merge this. So it's set the color right here so that we can add in that additional stroke right there. Let's see, add the color, drop it down just a slight smidgen and click OK. Okay, there you go. And yeah, we have a nice outline around the house. That's looking pretty good. We can throw this in if you want to use this as our end checkpoint, or we can build a castle for our checkpoint. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.
Hey everyone, thanks for watching this course. If you want to watch the rest of the course, the link is down below. Not only will you get the access to this course, but you'll get access to a lot of other courses in a huge bundle, and it's on sale today. So buy it before the sale ends. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in another video.